Just when you think Tron isn't in the meta, it comes back right to bite you, but maybe not in the ways you might think. Today we come up against a card called Semblance Anvil in a very simple colorless combo. Now we stumble a little bit with our draws, but I think you'll find that at the end of the day, big mana is here to bow down to mill. As the game starts off, I look to mull once and I see a triple archive trap hand. I mean, come on, you gotta play to the memes. Now I play my snow-covered forest, hoping that my opponent does something here, and I see the Urza's Mine, but hey, the trick here is they don't play turn 1 artifact that allows them to search, so I'm immediately a little hesitant here. And I will kind of play to these archive traps. I feel like at some point they will search. Now, they are playing the Urza's Tower in passing, which gives me the fear of them having natural Tron, and I don't really have a good answer to that. But then they play the Boseiju and a Semblance Anvil, which gives me a little bit of hope. I see that they put an Ensnaring Bridge underneath it, so they're trying to cast artifacts, they're playing a combo. Anyway, I fetch for my Watery Grave, I play my Ruin Crab on my turn, and I'm hoping for the best because I have Drown in the Loch but 0 cards in their graveyard. Now they're going to play another Semblance Anvil for another artifact continuing its effect, and I see the Grinding Station and I see, okay, I get it. Well, guess what, folks? This is going to be a pretty grindy game. They're at 0 cards in hand. I have Drown in the Loch, so I'm hoping that they stumble a little bit, and I'll tell you what, they are going to be stumbling for a little bit here. We honestly just draw a bunch of our Drown in the Lochs, and we take it from there, so I don't mind if you skip a couple seconds ahead to get through with it, but essentially, I'm guessing they're going to play something like Mer Retriever, tap their Grinding Station, just repeat that over and over again, and you'll see eventually that their kind of win con is not only drawing through their deck with Mystic Forge, but it's playing a bunch of artifacts and duping us in the face, kind of like a little bit of EDH vibes. And the deck continues to meme at me with something like my 4th archive trap. I am happy in the sense that I do draw my further Drown in the Lochs, and they do have cards in their graveyard, so I have time to build up. I have a Ruin Crab, and many of my draws are live, but as I say that, I draw my Spell Pierce against a Tron deck, and they just happen to assemble Tron on that turn after, so that Spell Pierce becomes even more useless, but I'm more than happy to discard it at hand size with double Drown in the Loch available to me every single turn. Now they're going to continue to do nothing. I think about countering the Ancient Stirrings, but hey, counter the thing they tutor for. Good practices in Magic. Now you see the Aether Flux Reservoir, that's what I was talking about before. We take out the win condition there. In this build of the deck, obviously we aren't playing any Surgical Extractions or Extirpates in the main board, so we're going to look to interact a little bit. We don't have the Snipe to take that out. For now, we find our other Ruin Crab. We are hoping to just draw through and find something. We find our 5th land in the Shelldock Isle, which is pretty sweet. We can start hard casting our archive traps at end step if they don't cast anything. We decide to put a Fractured Sanity underneath it. Of course, we need to quote unquote mill more, and especially with them at 18 cards in library, the Fractured Sanity is live. So what they're going to do is tap with the Grinding Station. I'm going to counter the Cloud Key because Grinding Station's trigger is ETB. So I got to keep things a little close to my chest here. But at this point, I draw the Field of Ruin. I have the Fractured Sanity trigger, and we win the game. As we start things off, we are back on the draw, and I keep something a little bit iffy. I don't have any Extirpates. I don't necessarily have any interaction early, but I know that they're not a Karn Tron deck. I don't necessarily have a problematic issue with them assembling Tron, so I'm thinking I can deal with a turn 3 Field of the Ruin. And as they develop, they play the Mer Retriever, I mill them a little bit, and I have the Extirpate so I can try and find the combo piece. Now they play the Semblance Anvil, they put an artifact underneath, and I'm thinking, okay, this is where things get problematic, but I have the Field of Ruin. I am going to Field of Ruin one of their Tron lands, but I made a little lapse in judgment. I actually should have extirpated one of their win conditions. Now they're kind of going off. They play the Mystic Forge, but I wasn't punished for it. I'm going to double Extirpate and I win the game. Now, misplays can take you pretty far, but fortunately enough, luck was on my side and we were able to beat the big mana deck.